3-1 slope, section 6-409E18.
Second, this is trustee Malani.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments?
This is
Mr.
trustee
Mayor,
Katzin. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Go
Dan.
ahead, Cindy. Okay, trustee Calandrello.
Trustee Calandrello?
Thank you. Two quick questions. First of all, to whoever can answer this, did our engineers look over this? And particularly, I'm worried about flooding. Are we safe to say that the flooding won't be an issue with this? Because I see the pond is closer to the homes, and for me, that's one of the biggest important things for me is to do no harm with new developments with flooding.
Okay, trustee Calandrello, this is Ed Lilo. Preliminary engineering has been granted for this project in regards to stormwater and how they are meeting those requirements. The only requirements they are not meeting are the cross slopes from 4-1 to 3-1 and the detention pond setback from what it should be in our code is 25 feet from the high water line to the property line, and they're requesting a reduction to 15 feet. And in addition to that, the high water line is the maximum amount that the volume will reach typically. So they are in compliance with the preliminary engineering approval from the village's consultant and our requirement.
And then one more question, Mr. Mayor. I see that we're going to be passing the ownership of the pond to the association or to the builder. Maybe I could ask this. Is that a growing trend? And I know why we're doing it, because it saves us money in the long term. Is this a growing trend with the surrounding communities, or are we going to lead on this issue?
So, trustee Calandrello, that's a very good question. Actually, in our preliminary research to determine what the best way moving forward is, we are actually the outlier. Typically, municipalities do not take control of ponds and the perpetual maintenance. So, if we amend the policy, we would actually be more in line with our neighbor.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Trustee Katsinas?
This is in line. Our motion is in line with what was recommended by our planning commission. So I just wanted to make that clear. It was a little wordy, but it appears to be in line with what the plan commission. So that's it. Thank you.
Yes, the motion for the first motion is what the plan commission used as their denial motion. The second motion is the exact opposite, the approval of what they're requesting.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep. No problem.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor, trustee Calandrello.
Trustee Calandrello?
As I reviewed the documentation, what do you really think is the reason? I mean, it seemed like a pretty good project. Was it the water issue, or what was the biggest issue you believe that the planning commission had? And I read it all and actually listened to the tape. So I was just wondering what you think was the biggest issue from them denying this petition.
So based on the discussions and the comments that the plan commission made, there are criteria that they use that all variances are used to, or that all variances are measured against. And those criteria include that the petitioner must justify a hardship, and that it can't be, all of the criteria, it must justify a hardship, and it can't be a situation that they created themselves. There is lot 7 on this property is significantly larger than the minimum required lot size for the R3 district. And as such, the Plan Commission based their denial recommendation off of the fact that petitioner could potentially reduce the size of that lot and gain additional area to either eliminate the variance request or reduce the variance request. Mm-hmm. So that's what they use to verify or to evaluate the variance.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
This is trustee Healy.
Trustee Healy?
This is questions for Ed Lilo. Ed, what happens if we vote to deny, if we vote to deny the rezoning and deny all the plans?
So at this point, if the committee recommends denial to the village board will have to they need a super majority vote to override the Plan Commission recommendation, which means they would need 3/4 approval in order to get it approved. The committee at this point, that's what would take place if this was recommended for denial at the committee. They would move forward to the village board for their final action, but that's the situation that the project would be in.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, Trustee Calandrello.
Trustee Calandrello.
Ed, if I remember correctly, if we either table this or put this back in the planning commission, they don't have, I think there's a 90-day window they have until they could come back. Is that true? If I remember correctly, there's something we can do to defer it if the petitioner wants to maybe readjust and not lose the whole season? Thank you.
I would have to defer to Walter so that
wow.
you would have the opportunity to refer back to the Planning Commission if they so choose. But as far as the 90-day window, I'm not familiar with which you're referring to. So I'd ask the village attorney to comment to be aware.
So who's ever scraping stuff on their desk, if you could please mute your phone or your computer. Appreciate it. So to Trustee Calandrello's point, tabling this, we would have to, if we table this, we would have to go back and take it off the table at some point in the future.
Mayor Peacock, Trustee Dodge.
Trustee Dodge.
So I just want to, make sure, right? So question for staff, right? So if they had met all of our requirements without asking for variances, this would probably have garnered approval, correct? The fundamental issue is they don't meet our standards for variances, but otherwise, yes.
That is correct. Yeah, I mean, it would still be subject to annexation, but from a land development code standpoint, they would be likely have approved.
So that, and then the issue, excuse me, continuing, the issue with the variance comes down to the slope and the setback around the ponds, correct? Which has everything to do with how they've designed the subdivision, the layout. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So I guess Mayor Peacock from my chair, I don't have a problem with having this come in, but they've got to meet all of our requirements. And it sounds to me like that's the sticking point.
Okay, any other comments? So my comment is I concur with Trustee Dodge on this. If they met the codes, then we would approve this, but they didn't. The Planning Commission had 3 conditions. They met 2 of them, and then they asked for variances on the other. So at this point, I'm inclined, or I will be voting in favor of this motion to deny the petitioner's request. So right now, the question is put that the board recommends denial of the variances, rezoning, preliminary site plan, plat of subdivision, and preliminary landscape plan for the Megan Nicole Ridge subdivision based on the recommendation by the Plan Commission at the April 7th, 2020 meeting. And recommends the denial of the following variances: reduce the required detention pond setback and landscape area from 25 feet as well as 15 feet to allow for an increase to the side slope of the pond from 4-to-1 slope to 3-to-1 slope, and to recommend to the village board the denial of rezoning of the subject property located at 13201 88th Avenue from E1 Estate Residential District to R3 Residential District, and moves to recommend to the village board denial of the preliminary site plan titled Preliminary Site Plan for Megan Nicole Ridge Subdivision prepared by Landmark Engineering LLC, sheet PSP1, dated July 8, 2019, and last revised January 15, 2020. And I move to recommend the village board denial of the plat of subdivision titled Megan Nicole Ridge prepared by Landmark LLC, and move to recommend to the village board denial of the preliminary landscape plan titled Megan Nicole Ridge Subdivision Landscape Plan prepared by Clarence Davids and Company PC, sheet 1-5, dated April 11, 2019, and last revised January 15, 2020. Approval of this petition is subject to the annexation into the village of Orland Park. So just to remind everyone, an aye vote on this. Trustee Katsinas, please mute your computer until you're ready to speak. So I just want to remind everyone that a aye vote here is to deny this petition. With that, call the roll.
Yeah.
Trustee Healy,
Aye.
Trustee Malani,
Aye.
Trustee Dodge,
No, because I want to give the developer a chance to change his mind.
Trustee Calandrello,
Aye, we're welcome to come back.
Trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Motion carries 5-1, which denies this petition. I think I probably speak for the entire board that if we come back and meet those variances, we'd be more than happy to welcome this project into the village.
That's it.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Any public comment?
Not for, no public comment in the committee of the whole.
Mayor Peacock, Trustee Dodge,
Trustee Dodge,
move to adjourn.
Second, Trustee Malani.
call the roll.
Trustee Dodge,
Aye.
Trustee Malani,
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello,
Aye.
Trustee Healy,
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. We're adjourned.
We're going to restart in a couple minutes.
Hey, George,
Yes.
we're going to leave this line open, right? So I don't
Correct.
need to dial
Yes.
back.
Trustee Fenton, trustee Dodge,
Trustee Dodge, you there?
Yep, communication problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
trustee Calandrello,
Here.
trustee Healy,
Here.
trustee Katsinas,
Here.
trustee Malani,
Here.
Mayor Pico.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And what I want to do first is to give a quick update on Kathy Fenton. She's not here. She is back at home now and out of the hospital. She's recuperating, so she's doing better, but she still has a ways to go yet. So we all wish her our best.
Approval of April 6, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, trustee Malani.
Trustee Malani,
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of April 6, 2020.
Second, trustee Dodge.
call the roll.
Trustee Malani,
Aye.
trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Accounts payable from April 7, 2020 to April 20th, 2020.
Mr. Chairman, it's trustee Dodge.
Trustee Dodge,
Move to approve.
Trustee Healy, second.
okay, the question is put to approve the accounts payable from April 7, 2020 to April 20th, 2020 in the amount of $4,641,093.04. Call the roll.
Trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
I'm abstaining. One of the vendors, I did some business, very small amount of business about 2.5 years ago. I don't know if they're abstaining, but I'm going to out of caution.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Malani,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda, item A, payroll for April 17th, 2020, approval. Item B, playground safety surfacing installation. Item C, professional public relations services contract extension. Item D, concrete flat work SPWDA joint bid, Orland Park bid award. Item E, 2020 concrete slab raising for sidewalk hazard repair, 1-year extension of contract. Item F, materials loading and hauling services, 1-year contract extension. Item G, budget adjustments, second quarter 2020 approval. Item H, audit contract amendment approval. Item I, an ordinance amending appendices A and B to salary ordinance number 5479 ordinance. I will entertain a motion to approve items A through I of the consent agenda.
Trustee Malani.
Trustee Malani,
So moved.
Trustee Healy, second.
call the roll.
Trustee Malani,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
LaGrange Square Development petition for a special use permit amendment with modification, site plan, elevations, landscape plan, and subdivision.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Healy,
I move to approve a development petition for a special use permit amendment with modifications, site plan, elevations, landscape plan, and subdivision as recommended at the April 6, 2020 Plan Commission meeting and as fully referenced in the motion below.
Do I hear a second?
Second, trustee Dodge.
Could you give us just staff, could you give us just a brief overview of the project?
Sure. This, Mr. Mayor, this is Ed Lilo. So the petitioner is seeking approval to construct 3 buildings on a almost 5-acre site at 45 Orland Square Drive. It includes one anchor restaurant building, one restaurant building with a drive-through, one standalone restaurant building, and a multi-tenant building that will include 3 restaurant tenant spaces. The proposed tenants are BJ's Brewhouse for the standalone restaurant. Chipotle and Panera will be in the multi-tenant building with a 3rd space in the multi-tenant building that hasn't been determined yet who the tenant will be. And then the drive-through tenant, other building will be Raising Cane's Restaurant. They, as stated before, have preliminary engineering approval. They have preliminary landscape approval, and they were approved unanimously by the Planning Commission. If there's any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Does anybody on the board have comments?
Mayor Peacock, trustee Dodge.
Trustee Dodge?
This strikes me as very good news, and I think we should tell everybody the common name of the businesses that are at that property now.
I'm sorry.
So
The
Ed, could you
redevelopment of
please
that
give us the
corner.
na-
Yeah.
Could you please give us the, who's coming in, and then it's replacing the Toys R Us?
Correct. It's replacing the former Toys R Us. It'll be a redevelopment. The standalone restaurant tenant will be BJ's Brewhouse. The multi-tenant building will include a Panera Bread and a Chipotle restaurant. There's a 3rd tenant space in that building where a tenant hasn't been determined yet, so there'll be a 3rd restaurant tenant. And then the drive-through restaurant facility will be standalone drive-through facility will be Raising Cane's Restaurant.
Any other comments? I think this is a great project for the village. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Malani,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
$104th Street Bike Path, Orland Parks financial commitment.
Mr. Chairman, trustee Dodge.
Trustee Dodge?
Resolution number, please.
2013.
I move to pass resolution 2013 entitled Resolution Approving and Authorizing a Commitment by the Village of Orland Park to provide matching funds for the Invested Cook Capital Improvement Program, 104th Avenue Bicycle Path.
Trustee Healy, second.
Trustee,
The motion, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? So just a quick overview for people who might be listening. This is where the village is guaranteeing matching funds to match the Investing Cook to connect the bike path from the grasslands to Lake Sedgwick. And we've already actually invested a lot of this money already in the engineering phase. So it's pretty much shovel ready and ready to go. So hopefully this year we get this money. We already have the support of local, several other local towns and essentially the Southwest Conference of Mayors for this project. Call the roll.
Trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Malani,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
CPAC Cabanas Engineering and Design Proposal.
Mr. Chairman, trustee Malani.
Trustee Malani.
I move to approve the proposal from Upland Design Limited dated March 4th, 2020 for the engineering and design of the CPAC cabanas to add a cost not to exceed $47,530.
Trustee Katsinas, second.
Sorry, I didn't hear the second.
Trustee Katsinas.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Calendrello,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Playground renovations, purchase and installation.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposal titled Orland Park Playground Renovations 2020, dated April 10th, 2020, for the purchase and installation of playground equipment and associated site work to Landscape Structures, Inc. for an amount not to exceed $397,455.45, which is $378,529 plus $18,926.45 of contingencies.
So moved. Trustee Calendrello.
Second, trustee Dodge.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Calendrello,
Aye.
trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Malani,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Village of Orland Park Ethical Standards of Conduct Ordinance.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
could I have an ordinance number, please?
5504.
Thank you. I move to approve ordinance number 5504 entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing a Code of Ethical Standards of Conduct for the Board of Trustees and all boards, committees, and commissions of the Village of Orland Park that is applicable to persons in municipal service, whether compensated or not, and whether appointed or hired, and to prescribe discipline for violations thereof."
Trustee Katsinas, second.
And just so everyone knows, we did post this on the website, on the front page of our website, and we have gotten no public comments on this. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this? Stand by while we find out. Okay, no one wants to speak. Any board members have any comments?
Mayor Peacock, trustee Dodge.
Trustee Dodge?
My comment is this puts in place a pretty good framework. We can continue to evolve it over time. It's a good start.
This is Trustee Katsinas.
Trustee Katsinas?
I just wanted to thank the members of the committee who worked together to bring this to the board and took the board's suggestions and recommendations into account. And so I thank them for their hard work.
Any other comments?
Trustee Calendrello.
Trustee Calendrello?
Just want to also thank all the members of the committees for all their hard work. Also, I think I would like to request that we put on maybe the committee hold in maybe July or August when we ask some questions regarding vendor disclosures. The committee agreed that the vendor's disclosure and the bidding process and policies should be a different discussion. So maybe July or August, when we're all back together, hopefully, we can have that discussion as committee whole to see what we can do for proactive disclosures. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, trustee Malani.
Trustee Malani?
I also want to thank everybody that worked on this, submitted all of their comments, and I appreciate staff, and I'm getting an echo. So I'll make it short. Thank you, everybody. This turned out great, and I'm looking forward to voting yes on it.
Any other questions or comments? So all I'll add is that I want to thank the Ethics Commission for all of their hard work. Like we talked about, thanks to Carol Ruzick, Kevin Scanlon, Sean Compass, Ed Schuessler, and Bill Healy for their effort and taking the time to get this right. I had asked for you to develop an ethics ordinance that would be the exemplar for the state and other municipalities to follow. I believe you've done just that by coming up with something that not only demands the highest ethical standards, but ensures the constitutional rights of all of our board members and commission members as well. So great job. With that, call the roll.
Trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
Aye.
trustee Malani,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Motion carries.
That's it.
Non-scheduled citizens and visitors, are there any? I'm getting a shake of the head, no. So board comments. Trustee Calandrello.
I just want to thank all our village employees and staff for doing a great job, and also just the community that keep it up, stay at home. You know, I know I'm with Dr. Fauci and all the health professionals where they try to make sure we're safe, and for our business community, let's keep on buying local, and hopefully we'll get out of this sooner than later. So just stay tough, and we can do this. Thank you.
Trustee Dodge.
Just a couple of comments, largely around the situation we all face. And to pivot off of what Trustee Calandrello said and Mayor Peacock, some of the conversations you and I have had, that there's reason for hope, and it's certainly time to start looking forward to and planning for the future. And God willing, we could get busy on that future in the very short time period here. Thank you.
Trustee Healy.
I've got maybe a lengthy comment here, but late at night on April 10th, my local 7-Eleven at 143rd and 82nd was robbed at knife point. Within hours, the knife-wielding bandit was arrested by the Orland Park Police. I find it amazing how many times crimes are resolved in hours, not days, but hours. This is a true credit to our police department. They should be applauded again. Based on my discussions with my friend Saeed, who was the victim, he noted that the bandit did not wear a mask while the victim did. I think this is just evidence that the world is upside down at the moment. It ties in with, to me, it's the mayor getting criticized for trying to, on Facebook, for trying to push the village ahead to get it to more success and get life back to normal. Life will get back to normal. This too shall pass. And normal is where the village of Orland Park continues its leadership in Illinois and Cook County. Our residents are smart enough and wise enough to get through all this stuff, and I look forward to getting to the other side. Thank you.
Trustee Katsinas.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind everybody to shop local. We have a lot of restaurants having some fabulous deals for meals. Check them out on Facebook or on the restaurant websites. And also just a huge thank you to all of our first responders, both to police and the Orland Fire District, for the business that they do day in and day out. We are truly blessed to live in a village that has such outstanding first responders. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Malani.
You know, as we look at what's going on in the world today, obviously, you know, things could be a lot worse and things could be a whole lot better. But I think we have to take the good things that are coming to us. So everybody, hug your families, stay close to them, take care of yourselves. You know, we have good things coming here in the near future. You know, stay tuned, and you know, we can only continue moving forward here. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. So I'll have a few comments here. So first, this happened a little over a week ago, but I do think it's important to defend Clerk Mahalik as well as our deputy clerk. A paid spokesman accused him of doctoring our tapes from the last meeting because he apparently couldn't handle the technical challenges of YouTube. While Clerk Mahalik and I have had many differences over the last few years, this accusation is irresponsible. It lacks any credibility. The irony is that prior to my election, the audio and video were not available to the public, so meetings needed to be covered in person. John, this person owes both you and Alex a written public apology. With that said, one of the things that I think Bill Healy was referring to was this weekend regarding the decision to announce our summer events and concerts, which the board decided to announce. And I just wanted to explain to people our decision-making because I think it's very sound. First, I want to remind everyone that President Trump announced the blueprint for reopening America, and Governor Pritzker announced that he is working with regional governors to reopen our economy. Our decision to continue to plan for our summer events is consistent with these reopening plans. If we open at the end of Governor Pritzker's stay-at-home order, that would mean that everything will be open by mid-June, including large events. Why wouldn't Orland Park host our events? I realize that some people will be afraid, but the fact is some people will be afraid for a long time after this. It's unfortunate, but it's true. If the concerts were canceled today, we would be on the hook to pay the bands because a prospective emergency 90 days ahead of time cannot be declared. If we refuse to pay, the village would be sued. Also, canceling now would certainly lead to us being blackballed by future performers, so we'd have a difficult time doing concerts in the future. This is important, if conditions dictate that concerts can't be held and large gatherings are not allowed, then we can cancel the concert at no cost except for our marketing efforts. We will know a lot more in 90 days than we do today. In order to have a successful event, in the event that we host it, we do know from last year that we need to market, we need time to market, and we need to sell the tickets in advance. Therefore, we need to start selling tickets and marketing. We also know that to be successful, we must plan for success. If the show gets canceled for COVID-related reasons, we will provide refunds for those ticket sales. It is also relatively easy for us to cancel a concert, even on short notice. But these events can't be held if they're not planned, and we are going to continue with our planning. It actually would have reflected poor leadership to cancel now when we don't have the facts, and it would have cost us more money. The choice is really simple. On one hand, we could have paid $211,000 to cancel the concerts today and be blackballed for the future, and no option to hold concerts this year if conditions change. On the other hand, continuing with the plan, and if it needs to be canceled, the cost would be for the marketing efforts only, and we'd still be able to hold the event. In the event that conditions do change, we will be able to hold the event. So more importantly, from a personal perspective, how horrible would it be if the facts ended up showing up that we could host these events and we had canceled it in April because we were afraid and we were pessimistic? Personally, I'm optimistic and hopeful that we'll be able to return to some sense of normalcy. I think we all want that. Speaking for myself, I won't be dragged into living my life in fear of the virus. I think most of you feel the same. On another note, I want to congratulate the Ethics Commission again for doing what we asked in creating an ethics ordinance that can be used as a model by government bodies throughout the state. It does demand the highest ethical standards, creates a fair process, and ensures that the accuser and accused rights are not trampled. Going forward, the village will continue to plan for our reopening and is working on a reopening plan so that we are prepared for this eventuality when it does come. When we do reopen, I want to remind everyone that it will be important to continue to follow social distancing, follow good hygiene practice, and above all, stay home if you're sick. It will also be important for vulnerable populations to continue to avoid contact with others until they're informed otherwise. In the meantime, I want to thank all the Orland Park residents for the great job that they're doing during this time. Please keep doing what you have been doing. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Or excuse me, to go into executive session.
So moved. Trustee Katsinas.
Mr. Mayor, we got to state the reason.
Yeah, we got to read the.
Right. Hold on 1 second, because you probably don't have this in front of you. So I will entertain to go into executive session. Executive session for pending litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the village, or when found by the board that such an action is probable or imminent. Also for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performances, or dismissal of specific village employees.
Minutes too.
And also to approve executive session minutes.
Trustee Dodge, so moved.
Second, trustee Calendrello.
Call the roll.
Trustee Dodge,
Aye.
trustee Calandrello,
Aye.
trustee Healy,
Aye.
trustee Katsinas,
Aye.
trustee Malani,
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned and we're going into executive session.
This is George. You received a separate invitation for the executive session. So if you can look in your calendars, end this call and start the new call.